Welcome back. Welcome back.
So he believes keeping a close
Welcome, everyone. We're back. Tonight we have some very riveting content. We're going to talk about humanoids. So, thank you. Yeah, I thought I'd put a little music backdrop. It is, it is. I'll send it to you. So, let's let's see what we got here. Tonight, we're gonna go over humanoids. We're gonna wait for a few more people to come into the room, but you see, we got really nice visuals, all the different type of robots, and we're gonna go over what they are, how much they cost, and like their main features. So we're gonna do it all tonight. So thank you all for joining. I see a few more people are in the room now. So we're gonna go over, again, we're going over all the types of robots tonight. So if you've ever wondered, you've seen those like Tesla, Optimus, those Tesla Optimus robots. We're gonna go over how much they cost, when they're gonna hit the market, and what they can do for you. So I appreciate your subscriptions. I just started yesterday on the live. It's my third time going live, but I try and educate everyone on robots. So we're gonna get into that now. So the first one you may see on the market, this is called the Unitree G1, all right? And if you're on social media, you might have seen it as like Rizbot, and it's super interesting because you can buy this today. It's advertised as $16,000, but I did a little research on it, and they're really, for the functional versions, they're going for around anywhere from 21,000 to 200,000. So they sell like this base model, which is like 16,000, but you can't do much with it. Again, I see a spike of people in the room. I'm a new creator on robotics. Appreciate if you subscribe. I want to go to 1,000. I think I'm around 50. So if we look at the capabilities of this thing, first, let me step to the side so you guys can get a better view. But this robot, it has speakers on it. It has a battery pack. It has a LiDAR and a depth camera. So that's how it can view its environment around it. And has a microphone here. So it can hear in its environment. It can respond in real time. And this is the best example of a humanoid robot that's available, that kind of functions relatively semi-autonomously. So you can buy this today and it will perform like some basic functions. Now, what is the use case for this? Well, let's check out the website a bit further, and they talk about Unitree Robotics. It's a world-renowned company that does industry class high performance humanoids. So if you'll see, they opened the Winter Games, the 2023 Super Bowl, and the Asian Para Games, and a few other festivals throughout the world. But I think with this robot, it just hasn't quite yet. Thank you, Mindful Nomad. Hey, I appreciate you saying some nice words. You said you have beautiful eyes. I appreciate it. And once again, for everyone in the room, I hope you you subscribe. I'm just starting out. I'm at 54 followers, and I try to share as much helpful information I can. I focus on robotics on this channel, but if you see, I have another channel as well where I just try to have encouraging things, try to be as helpful as I can. So anyways, we're talking about hey, Christine Fowler. I just find it interesting. Hey, I appreciate you being here, and if you have any questions, just keep posting them in the comments, and I'll try to share as much as I can. I'll try to answer. I know a decent amount about robotics. I'm like 50 videos deep covering all the different types of robots. And the biggest thing about robots, I think, is it's gonna change everyday people's lives so much, because we're just kind of getting comfortable with AI. AI kind of came in the last few years, and it made a lot of things easier. We use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff, but it also, changed how easy it is to get jobs. I think that changed a lot of things, changed the job market. So they're just things that, there's not many forums to discuss them, and I try to do one here. So I see a few more comments coming in. Do I have a robot? Well, I don't have a humanoid robot or anything like that. I'm interested in the subject. But if you look at things like robotic vacuums or hoovers that go around the house, those are considered robots, and there's a ton of different things that really are considered robots. So to be considered a robot, the definition is it has sensors, which it perceives things, actuators, which are like muscles for like moving around, and then like a robot brain. So by definition, there are probably a few robots in my house, but nothing like what I'm showing you today. And that's the Unitree G1. I'm going to share a couple more types of robots. So if there's any ones you guys have heard of, let me know. I'll try and pull that one up as well. But this next one is called the Boston Dynamics Atlas robot. So I'll just step to the side for a second, and you see it in here. You might have seen a video of this. It's in factory, like picking up things, placing them in boxes. So this type of robot is the most advanced, but it's not quite on the market. So Boston Dynamics, before this AI boom, they've been developing these robots for decades. And the reason why they're doing it is, they were just the first in the space. So now that the cost of making one of these robots used to be close to $1 million per unit, and that because a lot of that is a ton of coding to be able to do all these functions. But with AI now, there isn't such a need to code so much, because it can have a LLM in its brain, and it can really accomplish so much more, like way easier. So I see a few more people joining. If you could, I'm on my road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm not at 4 anymore. I think I'm at like 50 something. So I appreciate your subscriptions. So before I get into the next one, how am I doing tonight? Everyone hearing me all right? And let me know where you guys are from. I'd love to learn about my audience, and any questions you have, feel free to post them. I'll try my best to be helpful here tonight. So for the people just joining, we're talking about robots. We're going through all the different types of robots, and answering any questions you have. I'm just gonna check the stats of this live stream. We've just been on for about 11 minutes. It's the third one of the day, but let me see. I started at 54 subscribers 10 minutes ago, and we're at 55. So I think that was Christina Fowler. I appreciate it. And thanks for being here tonight. We're learning as much as we can. We're making good use of our Friday, huh? And yeah, for the people joining, let me know where you're from. I'm a robotics creator, so this is my niche, and we're teaching about what everyone wants to learn tonight, which is about the humanoids. So again, this is the Boston Dynamics one, and about pricing. So this one actually is not on the market. Boston Dynamics uses this as like a developmental type robot. They estimate the cost to be around 140,000 per unit. So it's not aimed at like selling into people's houses like some of these other ones that we'll share tonight. But it's really just about building the best robot for the time when they eventually do sell this. Now, this company does sell a robotic dog that we're starting to see on a lot of construction sites for like safety and stuff like that. But that kind of covers this one. And you might see there's some videos online if you look up Boston Dynamics Atlas. This thing does like backflips and like all kinds of stuff. So it's a really cool humanoid robot. Hey, chat, let me know where you're from. And you know, we're talking all the humanoid robots tonight. So we've gotten through 2 so far, and we're gonna keep going. So let's see, for all the new people in the room, you know, I'm on my road to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm around 55 now, so appreciate it if you give me a quick subscribe. And let's see, let's go next. We've gotten through the Boston Dynamics. We've gone through the Unitree G1. Oh, let's talk about the Tesla. All right, who's heard about the Tesla? All right, we got North Carolina in the room. We got the United States. That's pretty awesome. Where's everyone else's from? All right. Well, welcome you all in. You know, try to be helpful. Ask your questions. You know, I have content to talk about with these robots, but I'd love to hear your conversation as well. So the Tesla bot, or the Optimus. Okay, let's read what it says here, also known as Tesla bot, a general purpose robotic humanoid under development by Tesla. So this was announced about 2022, 3 years ago now. Wow, time's going quick. And this robot is really about being mass market. So the objective, it's kind of the same business model that Elon Musk took for electric cars. So with electric cars, he's like, okay, I want to make them cheap and I want everyone to buy one. So now we see a lot of Teslas because he engineered Tesla. The first electric car was like $87,000. Back when $87,000 was a lot for a car. This was like 1.5 decades ago. But he pushed it down to like, you know, to a way cheaper price point that competes with all like the Honda Fits and the Toyota Corollas. So he made it possible for people to buy Teslas at an affordable price, and then they did, and it became a thing to be an electric car. So now with humanoids, he sees the same opportunity, and it looks like he's using the exact same strategy. So he's making this robot. It's not as functional as the other ones that I've shown tonight. It's not nearly as functional, but he wants to make it for cheap enough that people will buy it. And that price point that he sees is between $20,000 and $30,000. Now I know that's not a lot of people, but I think he's imagining that people are going to start financing these robots to have around the house. Now, leave me a comment. Let me know, would you guys get a Tesla bot if it became a thing? I see one comment, I already don't trust the Tesla bot. You know, and maybe that's good prudence, you know, like, cause you know, what function do these really have for us? You know, I think they're really being pushed right now because they help business owners, certainly, around like factories and stuff. But yeah, iRobot. Someone said iRobot. So yeah, I think I'm afraid they can turn on you. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of like satisfaction we get by doing the task in our lives, whether that's like cooking or, you know, our routine. I mean, how I think routine is super important. So it seems like these robots are coming in and they're trying to take every piece of what we do, you know, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I think with all new things, they're trying to find out what tasks that they can take and make money off of pretty much. But anyways, they're marketing the Tesla bot to sell to everyone, and kind of going off of that, I've seen a robot about this before. I've seen a movie about this before. Yeah, we've got the warnings. We were warned, huh? But it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool technology, and even though I'm a little cautious on some robotic things, like I really do, I really do think they're helpful as well. I can see robots helping the elderly in the future, even robot pets. I think that's a great point. I've made a few videos about how robots can help the elderly. So there's already a robotic seal that it's FDA tested. It's the only robotic product that's on the market that they're using in elder homes, and it helps people with like dementia because it's like a pet. It bonds to you, it responds to you, and it's been shown to be pretty effective. So I think especially with loneliness, robots can help a lot. I'm going to try to pull up a picture of that robotic seal. And then on top of that, in places like Japan, they're using like humanoid type robots. So let me know if you guys think this is cute. This is the robotic. Oh, let me turn off my background. This is the robotic seal that they're using in elderly care homes. So this is the seal that's FDA approved and has been like super effective. You know, it's this cute little seal. And I'll show you one more robot that they're already using, and this is in Japan. I don't think this care is being given in the U.S., but take a look at this robot. They're using it in elderly homes where they're turning over, like people who need to be turned over in their beds. They're using it there. So it is really helping the elderly a lot. And hey, I see got a few more people in the room. Thank you for being here. If you could please subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 1,000. I think we're at 55 now, and I'm a robotics creator. I share about robots. I try and help people learn about them. You know, it's going to be a big change, and you know, I think with all change is always disruptive. So it's important that we talk about it, and you know, we learn about these things, and also like, you know, have the discussion. So that's what I try to get on here and do. So all right, well, there's some great questions, some great comments in the thing tonight. Don't have to worry about them stealing or ripping elderly off, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. Like with robots, you know, they can, I think we can trust them to do certain functions. I think, you know, there may be a point when, you know, they have the ability to make their decisions on their own, and then I guess we'll have to see then. But someone on the stream last night joined in and was talking about how there's food trucks, robotic food trucks now, and I was talking about how, sometimes the like drawback of going to fairs and getting off food trucks is like, you see them not wearing gloves or something like that, or it looks a little dirty in there. And I was like, wow, like I guess that's the positive of robots doing the food trucks, because like there's not going to be any germs or coughing back there. So there are, I think, a lot of positives, and I try to focus on that on the channel. But also, there are things that are very disruptive about robots and AI in general. And I don't know where everyone's from who's joined in, but I think it's changing some of the what we thought were the fabrics of our kind of how we live. See too many elder hand. Yeah, I mean there's definitely a lot of unfortunate things that happen to disadvantaged people, so I think that's definitely true. And I think also, like, I mean, if you had one of these type of robots around, like, say a family member, oh, let's not say a family member, take that back, like say someone you knew that was getting care from this, like it's possible for them to get around the clock care, and then hopefully they set it up so you can get some sort of like alerts and stuff like that. So I think I see a lot of potential positive things. Whether that is how it's implemented, hospitals decide to give that level of care, I mean, that's something we don't know. But let's focus on the positive things, and hopefully some of those will come. And this has been one of my favorite lives. I've had lots of comments, a couple follows, and we're rocking. So what else? We'll go on to the next humanoid robot. So we were talking about like in-home care and stuff like that. So this is Neo. So Neo robot. And this one is also on the market, so you can actually buy this today. Again, the pricing in a minute, but it's really designed to be your in-home helper. So what does that mean? It's supposed to do chores, it's supposed to do the dishes, all right? And it's able to be put in your home today. Now, here's the catch about this one. They have it so it eyes or cameras, it can talk to you and all that, but it's remotely controlled. So they actually have a whole, like, I think they're from Norway or something like that. They have a whole sales operating these robots. So you'll tell it to do things, but they're remotely controlling the robot while they train it. So they're one of the first to market that has a fully functional robot, but you pretty much have someone who's remotely accessing your home through this robot and making sure that they're doing the task correctly. Now, I don't know too many people who would be comfortable doing that. I don't know, chat, let me know if you would be down to do that. I mean, it seems a little wild of an idea, but it's being pushed pretty hard right now, and it seems like they're getting some people to sign up. So maybe doing the chores and dishes, they're like, okay, just come on in. And hey, I noticed we've got a few more people in the room. Just a quick plug for myself. I'm a robotics creator. If you could please subscribe, helps me a lot. And I'm just trying to get to 1,000. Not at 4 anymore, I'm in the 50s, but Appreciate you guys spending some time with me on the Friday. I'm trying to make the most of it. And I'm trying to teach you guys the best way I know about robots. If you see my channel, I've written about almost, most types of robots, and I think it's going to be a big change that our society is seeing in the next couple years. And I don't see anyone else discussing about it, so I'm a creator who kind of talks about that. And so someone's virtually controlling the robot. That's exactly right. I mean, it's like, someone has full access to your house. It's like they're playing a video game in your house, but at least they're being helpful, so they're controlling this thing remotely. You're paying, and it's not a cheap price, by the way. Let's check out how much the price is on this thing. Welcome in, everyone. We're talking about humanoid robots. Appreciate you being here. Trying to be as helpful as I can. I'm a robotics creator, so appreciate your subscriptions. I see mostly Japanese channels featuring robots. That's probably because in Japan they're way more like forward thinking with these robotics. That healthcare example I gave a few minutes ago, that was about they're having robots in all their elderly care homes over in Japan. So it's probably more of a thing over there. And look at this. This is the pricing now. This is that Neo robot. It's $20,000 plus $499 a month. So it's like a wild amount of money for them to be. It's not even really a robot you're interacting with. It's a robot remotely controlled by a group of people out in Norway. So it's interesting. They're kind of like outsourcing their R&D to people's homes. That's wild. But let's see. Everyone who's joining in, let me know where you're from in the comments. Welcome in. I'm a robotics creator and trying to be as helpful as I can with these lives. So let's see. So you guys enjoying the content tonight? You learning a lot, or any topics you want me to go over? And hope that I put a little music on in the background. Hope it's a little relaxing, very informative. Thank you, Angelica. So end of the week, but hey, we're not out. We're not out doing things like doing trick or treating or anything like that tonight. We're spending time. We're learning. We're upskilling ourselves, and we're learning about something that's going to be around in the future. So having this knowledge, I think, will be helpful, and more than that, I think the changes that they bring, it's going to be helpful to start discussing it now, so it's not like dramatic, like all these things get pushed out, like how they did with AI and that sort of stuff. So welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Let's see the comments. I see this police using the technology. So for everyone new in the room, we're talking about robots. We're going through all the humanoid robots tonight. That's the topic for the night, and like pricing and all that stuff. So I see the police utilizing this technology very soon. It's already being used by police. So drones are being used pretty rapidly. There's a company called Flock Safety that does remote monitoring by drones. That's the service that they offer, and it's being pushed here. I know they're a US-based company. They've raised a lot of money, and I think there's a lot of interest. And I know in some Asian countries they already have this robot. So the Unitree G1, they'll put a police uniform on them, and they go the streets as well. So wow, the room is kind of jumping tonight. So guys, please subscribe. keep building this channel, man. It feels good. It feels good to have an engaged room. I'll tell you guys a funny story. Earlier, I had some time. It was like my lunch break, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna hop on live. Hopefully, gain a few subscribers here. And I was going for like 30 minutes. I wasn't talking much because there's 0 people in the room. And I was like, later in the day, I realized my mistake that I had set the settings on the live to be unlisted, so it wasn't public. So only people with the link could find it. And then I was like, oh well, I was just standing there for 30 minutes. But those are things you learn as a new creator. So definitely a learning for me today. Welcome in. We got some new people. We're learning about humanoids, and it's awesome. Well, it's much easier when I got Angelica, Christine, Hannah. We got everyone in here engaging because I got more to talk about. And I'm planning to do this at least. Yesterday it was my first live, so I'm gonna do at least once a week. But since I gained a few followers on last night's live, on this live, on the live I did at 4 o'clock, I'm like, wow, this is, I think, the best way to gain YouTube followers, because it's very hard to make it just on the videos. I think I made like 36 long form videos. I don't know long form, but like 5 minutes long videos in the past month, and the live was way more effective. So very good. So everyone, is there any questions when you guys see this? Anything you're wondering about we can maybe discuss, or if I don't know the answer, we can look it up. All right, let's see. Let's go next topics. So back to finishing about the Neo. I mean, here's a picture. They describe it on their website as, getting the door. Let's see what else they have. Helping hand. They say it's gonna reclaim your time, helpful intelligence. So you can talk to it. I think that could be useful for a lot of people. If you can just like talk your ideas, and it's pretty much like you're typing in the chat, but you're just able to conversate. I don't know. I was like, I think I definitely had a lot of hesitancy using AI at all when it came out in this like Chat GPT form. I really didn't use it for the first year and a half probably. I still don't use it much, but it does definitely help sometimes when you gotta crank out an idea. So welcome in everyone. We're talking humanoids tonight, robotics. I'm a robotics creator, and just we're having some pretty nice discussion tonight. We're growing the room. We're at 55, and it's been a project I've been working on for the last month and a half or so. So if you guys could like the live, I think that helps push it out. And all your engagement already, I think, has made this live super successful. So thank you guys. Welcome. All right, let's see if I've covered all of these. So yeah, I don't think I touched on this, but that Tesla Optimus robot, 20 to 30,000 long term, it likely decreased. Yeah, Elon Musk says he wants to make it less than a car. So pretty cool. So I got to figure this part out. Like I got which robot would I buy? Let me look at my options again. So is this one? I mean, I think the marketing behind this one looks pretty cool. But like this one's the most useful, I think, for sure. Like it can, it kind of really looks like a more realistic person. So I think it has a more comfortable look. Like I think if this guy was in my home, I would feel more comfortable than if this guy was in my home. You know what I mean? What do you guys think about that? And what robot would you guys buy? That's what I want to know. It has skin. Yeah. The Neo. Yep. So it looks like this is kind of the winner here. And look, you can get it in different colors. It comes in this like light beige. I think it does look kind of like it's like a skin color, and I think that's decent. Like the light blue and the dark green or something like that. Don't know if those are natural skin colors, but this one, you know, I think it looks good. And transform your home. I think I must have got the wrong screenshot, but it was like picking up dishes and stuff like that. What else? Well, who else is in the room? What robot would you get? We're talking humanoids. We've gone through all of the types tonight. And man, these things they're coming quick. Like I started just 2 months ago, and most of these have come out within, you know, there's talks about them maybe 5 months ago, but a lot of these have come to market in the last 2 months. So I think there's a big push here. But you know, I think they're going to be used in like restaurants. You know, like I think that's going to be the first use case with like bigger brands, because they already have those robots that like bring trays around. I don't know who's seen those in the hotels. Like they're called like Clio robots, where pretty much I'll pull up a picture, but pretty much these robots can just go to your door. You know, like when you call in and say, hey, I need a toothbrush, these robots come to your door. I don't know if you guys have ever stayed in a hotel that has those, but let me find a picture for you guys. And oh, we got a spike of people in the room. I'm a robotics creator. We're going over all the humanoid type robots and just engaging in conversation. We got a pretty good chat here tonight. But you know, always appreciate your subscriptions. Helps me a lot as a new creator and trying to get up to 1,000. So got quite a way to go here. But you know, your subscription helps a lot. So let me pull up this Clio robot for you guys. And I think the hotel that I stayed in that had this. Here you go. Check it out. So you see there, it's like it comes to your home, your door, with whatever you ordered. So that was my first experience with a robot, and I think I stayed in a hotel in Chicago probably 5 years ago, and they had that, and I was like, you know what? I'm thinking now, it probably wasn't 5 years ago. It was probably 8 to 9 years ago. Everything always feels like just a couple of years ago, you know. But yeah, and I remember I was taking a Snapchat of the robot, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. So this is where I gotta improve my live games. Like I had these slides, I was like, okay, I'll go through that and just see where the live takes us. I've gotten through those tonight. Um, so I gotta regroup here. But overall, I think pretty successful live. I mean, it's the least amount of subscribers I've gotten from a live. I only got one tonight, but I think that was Christine. But great engagement in the chat. You know, all the way through questions, and I think it went pretty well. So maybe I'll hop on again later. We'll do another topic. Let me know who has an idea for a topic. I gotta do some research. All right, well, everyone, thanks for joining. I think we got a little bit better today. We learned something. I definitely learned, engaging with you all, and I appreciate you being here. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you. How do I end the live? That's the next question. All right, for the last person who just joined, we're closing up here. Just ending the live, but let's see.